however, believe that school is the best place to learn this.
Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Explain your answers and provide any, how does it go? Provide any examples from your own knowledge or experience. That part, that second sentence, is on every task too, and I guess that's why people think they don't need to include it, because it's on every one. But, you know, it's there for a reason. Don't forget to do it. Provide examples. Okay. And our answer. All right, let's look at the first sentence. You can see this pretty well. All right. Now, Ahmed, I don't even know if you're here. Can I get a hello? Can I to see if the of course he's here, but I wonder if I really one thing that's better about live setup, stream key. That's better about, say, like Zoom for this kind of stuff is it would allow me to bring other people on camera. As far as I know, Facebook should be allowed to do that. Video clipping, stream health, polls. Oh, I should have done that in advance. Polling, questions. Add question. Oh, don't forget to use some of that. Stream health, fine. Stream setup. All right, I'm 10 minutes in and I haven't started yet. So let me actually do the feedback. All right. Considering home a better place to buy kids, the moral values of civilization is opinion of certain people. That is not a sentence. Okay, what's the subject and the verb and the object? Okay, considering home a better place to buy kids. I know what you're trying to do here. Okay, you're trying to use an ing phrase, a participle clause, as a way to create a complex sentence. Now, this is a good goal. Okay? It's a good thing to try to do, but maybe not in the first sentence. Okay. In the first sentence, you want to just set up what is the question, okay? And with a discuss both views, what you need to do first, before even putting pen to paper, is analyze it and think about what are the two groups, okay? What are the two views? It's not a good idea to think of them as people, but think of them as views, okay? They're not sides. Often these questions discuss both these views. As often is presented as discuss these sides. Sides and views are different. Sides are necessarily opposite of one another. Views are not. And often in this type of question, you have two views on the same issue that are not the same thing and are, contrasting, but they're not always opposites. Now, with this one, are they opposites of one another? Some people think parents should teach children how to be good members of society. What does that mean? Well, that parents need to teach the societal values, that of society, not their own, but of society, and put those into the children's brains. Whereas others believe that school is the best place to learn this. Now, that's key words there. Best place. That's part of the other view. It's not that parents shouldn't teach moral values. It's just that schools definitely should, because they're the best place for it. And those are the two sides. And they're not opposite. Well, I guess they are in that one side believes that school is the best place, and the other side doesn't believe that. Huh? All right. So I want to see that in the first sentence. The moral value, considering home a better place to guide kids. It's family, all right, guide kids. And as someone already noted, don't use kids. That's too informal. Now, the moral values of civilization. Well, civilization and society are not the same thing. You're trying to use a synonym. That's good, okay? Civilization is everything humanity has ever done, going up from 8,000 years ago to now. Society is one place, one group, one set of people, usually with the same language and country. And by the way, I would like, it's been 6 minutes since anyone's made a comment. Please do use that. Oh, I know what I should do. Wait, that's why that other screen was up. So to check the live Facebook feed to see if that's working. So, civilization is not a good synonym for society. It's okay to repeat words from the question. It's not completely forbidden, but just don't do it too much. If you're just trying to set up the argument here, as we would in the first paragraph, it's okay. Where'd it go? IELTS tips and tricks. There it is. Yes, there I am live. Okay. Hi. Yeah. Nope. And the latest comment is still just 7 minutes old. Come on, people. Comment. Those are my peanuts to keep going. All right. This essay will discuss both sides. See, it's not sides. It's views. And you forgot an article here. The argument. And present evidence about why parents can teach manners effectively. Well, that's not the issue. Parents can teach manners, I guess is an example of what we're talking about, effectively. Is school better at it or not? More effectively than schools? That's the question. And you need to show in the introduction that you understand the question. That's the goal of the introduction. Here's what the question is. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Does this introduction do that? No. I think you're trying too hard. We'll get back to this to use advanced Lexis. Okay. All right. Now, I would like to see I think this is a topic sentence. Yes. The key benefit that home is better. All right. Availability of environment. Okay. So you're going to say this is the first supporting point of view number 1. Right? So that's what I want some kind of transition, okay? And not just, firstly, that doesn't show much. That's mechanical, okay? And a good way to do that is to connect the first sentence of your first body paragraph to the ending of the last sentence of the introduction. And you do so by using the same words, okay? So you ended the last one, why parents can teach manners effectively, okay? And then you can reference back that into something like, well, I can just type live here. I need to use like a different font or color or something. Oh, my cat's at the door. All right, or color. Joko in, Joko in, what color? Color. In purple. Oh, no, that's the background. I know. Whatever. Just pick one. Those are no good. Custom. Colors. Oh, good God. In light yellow. So by doing that, you could, like here, effectively, manners effectively. So something like this. Effectiveness. Okay. Sure. I mean, again, to use the same words, caps lock. Effectiveness. Okay. Is due effectiveness is due to availability of environment, whatever that means. Okay, but by using the words from the ending of the last of the introduction, you create a natural bridge. Okay, a very organic, natural type of cohesion, so it helps your CNC. And it's very easy way to begin your body paragraph by saying something like, the best way to see this, or the biggest, the most obvious example, or the key benefit. Don't set yourself up like that, because when you say that my reason is the most important reason, you have to show that too. It's best just to say one reason or one benefit to the home as, not is, but as a better place, better than what. Right? You know, whenever you have a comparative, you should make it clear what you're comparing it to. One reason why home is better than school to learn etiquette, okay, a place to learn etiquettes. Well, etiquette is an uncountable noun. It means manners. And etiquette is about like procedures, like, like when you walk into someone's house, you would say something like, wassalamu alaikum. That is an etiquette. Okay, is, because it's availability, the availability of environment. Okay, now, what does that mean? All right, this is because, well, we don't know what this is yet. Okay, so what is, you need to define what you mean here before you explain it. Okay, what is availability of environment? I don't know. This is because family remains in touch. In touch is not correct here. In touch means that you talk to each other on Facebook on occasion. With kids, more time than what? More, again, a comparative. You compare, you want to compare to something. More time. And, okay, now, family is one of those odd nouns that can be singular or plural, depending on if you're British or American or how you're using it. Okay, family as an idea is singular, so it would be correct here. Remains, my family remains in touch with me. Okay? Family as a group of individuals, I think was in this case here, individuals. My sister, my father, my mother is plural, so it would be families are more common in British English as well. All right, remains in touch, and or monitors. That's what I'm talking about. And monitor every activity. Every activity, really? Not my family, or no, every activity. Well, maybe, but I wouldn't go there. Along with guides them accordingly. Once again, guide is not the correct verb here, because you need to clarify what you mean. Guide their behavior, perhaps. Accordingly to what? All right, so. Just checking my chat room. Not seeing anything. Live producer. Hello, hello, hello. Fahid, I see a new comment. That's great. Okay, and oh my God, 22 minutes in already. Thank you, Monir. Where is our guest of honor? Whoops. Ahmed, he's probably cringing in the corner going, oh, I didn't write this. No, don't worry. You have good, so far what I'm seeing is a lot of good collocation. There's some good combinations of vocabulary. You just have to use it the right way. It's like you've got some very good tools, but you're just not using them right. Okay? Well, learn how to use these tools that you have. Guys, right now, a lot of times students are obsessed or love to use the semicolon as if the semicolon is some type of an additional complex sentence that they can use. You know what, folks? The semicolon is very rarely used by native English speakers. It's one of the dying forms of punctuation. It's kind of been replaced by the dash. I wouldn't be surprised if 100 years from now, semicolons like the ampersand. Don't even try. Okay? Semicolons are used primarily in fiction or in informal writing to connect two short sentences together that are very much connected in meaning. Okay, that are like, they're two separate sentences, but they could easily be part of the same sentence because they're so close. You don't use it with, you certainly wouldn't use it with however, okay? Or rarely would you. I mean, it's not grammatically incorrect. It's just weird. Wait, what's this? Oh. Oh. What? Okay. All right. Anyway, that's that screen. However, student. Orange means task response. Oh, there's Fahid. Hi, Fahid. Thank you. Now, I know you're looking for a way to replace the word kids, and again, don't use kids, use children, but we haven't brought in the concept of school yet. And these aren't students, they're children. Student feels a student. We need a student feels comfortable with their family, usually, and listens to them effectively. I don't think that's the right adverb there. Therefore, if any kid says, okay, any should be singular, says or reacts in an unethical way at any time, parents will teach them immediately and give them relevant assistance. Oh, really now? Okay, you want to be careful about over the top. Means that you can. This is a generalization to say that any kid at any time by any parent is going to always get the right guidance. You know that's not true. It's not true. I don't care where in the world you live. It's an idea, but it's not true. It's you got to face reality here. Considering children in a home in Pakistan, for instance. This is not a complete sentence. This is a phrase. Okay. All right. You can mention that you live in Pakistan. They spend most of their time at home. We use at with home with their family, comma, excluding the few hours which are invested in school. You're trying too hard with the vocabulary. Invested in school. The children don't invest anything. They're children. They don't think that way. So which children attend school would be good formal, or go to school would be everyday English. Consequently, the maximum, not correct adjective here, monitoring of children prevents them from acting or repeating. Okay, remember when you've got two things like this, acting, you want the other one to be the same type of word, acting or repeating. We don't need of. Unethical words. Okay? Teaching someone to be a good member of society. What does that mean? That's the topic at hand. Not saying the word fuck. No, sorry. That's an unethical word. No, it's more than that, I mean, teaching, yeah. So make sure that your answers always answer the question. And the question here is about being a good member of society. Depends on the society that you're in, what that means. But it's always more than not saying bad words. Okay, I'm going to let my cat in. If you're going to meow at the door, you have to make an appearance on camera. Yes. No. All right. We enjoying this so far? 28 minutes. Okay. Now, you're in the next paragraph, we do see an attempt for using a cohesive device, connecting words between the two paragraphs. Furthermore, would not be used to start a paragraph unless the next paragraph is specifically, oh, look at that, my friend. He's working on some music with me, and he just recorded something. Cool. It's usually used inside of a paragraph, okay, to introduce another point about the same idea. I noticed you used it in your task 1. Never use furthermore in a task 1. It is a good word to connect ideas, but not contrasting ideas. Only ideas that are supportive of one another. Okay? It's really hot out. I'll use a very simple example. Okay? It's very hot where I live. And if most of you are in Southern Asia, it's very hot where you live too right now. Hottest place in the world. It's 37 degrees out there. So I don't want to go outside. It's hot. Furthermore, there is a social distancing mandate. People have to stay away from each other. Okay, they both support the idea that I don't want to go outside. And the second one is like more important. Similar to moreover, which is another word that many candidates use all the time incorrectly. Both moreover and furthermore do not start as paragraph. Okay. School also plays the major role. A major role, not the, a major role for pupils. No? Well, who else? Children. In providing exposure to society. Yes, this is true. People do get exposure to society, but that's not what the question is about. It's about becoming a good member, not just exposure. This is because. Now note, you started your first and your second paragraph with topic sentence, good, followed by this is because. It's a good idea to have a feeling of, like this is how I write a paragraph. But when you use the same structures in both of your body paragraphs in the same place, it shows the reader, the examiner, that you are following a template. That no matter in your first paragraph, it did not belong at all because we didn't know what this was. You can't explain why something is before it's clear what it is. All right. Now here it's a little more clear, but right, this is because teacher, a teacher, teachers guide. What's the word guide again? Them the proper rules about ethics, along with allowing entertaining with good students in class as well as in different social activities so that they could learn and practice with them through communication. Wow, that is all one sentence right here. I better swing for that 100, right? Gonna knock it out of the park in one sentence. Avoid this. This is incoherent. Okay? Too many clauses in one sentence. Categories. All right. Right? Do teachers really do this? Do teachers teach ethics? Mine didn't. Allow entertaining. It's not clear what you mean in class as well. Now it's just getting me too long. Different social activities so that they can learn and practice with them through communication. I'm going to throw all these words down and hope some of them stick because it's really unclear what you mean here. Similarly. Okay, now here's another word that's used all the time incorrectly. In fact, I had a whole video about similarly. It's like, we need to protect the environment. Similarly, I have an appointment with my dentist tomorrow. These two ideas are not similar at all, okay? So, similarly corrects similar ideas. No, it helps tutors to test them and react whenever any kid, now be careful, this is the second paragraph in a row. You use the word any. Now, any. No, any means all of them. And that's not true. Okay, whenever any kid, whenever a kid, again, kid, wrong, makes use of an irrelevant, no, irrelevant means not about what we're talking about. Right? So whatever we're talking about, whatever the thing at hand is, if it's relevant, it's about that. Irrelevant means not about that, and that's not what we're talking about. Unethical. There's the word again, or any unusual word. Okay, such as unusual word. Yeah, well, yeah. Hottentot. That's an unusual word. Okay, now once again, you've done the same structure as before. So, for example, I think one was for instance. A kid remains in contact with other children and gets encouraged. No, when everyone speaks in a well-mannered. See, this is good. Speaks in a well-mannered way. You need another word there. Hence, schools create a path for students to learn and restrict them. A path to restrict them? Be careful with and here. Now, what's the difference between and as well as and in addition? Well, a path for students to learn and restrict. A path to restrict them. No? So, it's to create a path for students to learn, restrict them. So, you need something like as well as restrict them from usage of any unethical word, behavior through exposure to public. Man, schools in Pakistan must be pretty strict. This is hardcore. Any word you'll get. Okay. Conclusion. In conclusion, comma. You did this earlier. I noticed this a lot. And I think what happens is that, well, it doesn't explain why home in school. Why are these capitalized? I often see the second word of a paragraph capitalized. And I know what's happening there is people are writing and then they go, oh, I got to put a transition in there. And so they go back and they add the transition word and then they forget to decapitalize that one. But capitalization counts as grammar. Have always benefits, okay? Parents can provide better guidance. Why? You never make that comparison. You say they both do things, but you never said anything about why it's better. To their time and familiarities. Again, this you want to summarize, say again what you said in the body paragraph, but I didn't see anything about familiarities. I am convinced. Family, no capital, leads a kid towards a better understanding of environment and ethics of society than does school. Without the than, even though you've been talking about it the whole time, without a comparison, it means compared to not having. So I'm convinced that family leads kids towards a better understanding of environment and ethics of society. Better than what? Better than not having a family. Better than schools. So, I hope I have shown you, Fahid. All right. Wait. Fahid, is this yours? No, Mehish. I thought this was Mehish. Whose essay? Who wrote this thing? Well, I hope I have shown the author that you need to really analyze the question very carefully, because this question should have been fairly easy to answer. All you have to do is to put into question about whether or not schools are the best way for children to learn the ethics of society. And I don't know about you, but I don't even actually live in my own country now, but schools are run by the government and they're public, and lots of people from different values come to schools from different types of families. And I don't want to turn this into a moral argument, but I don't think that if I wanted my school to teach my children ethics and morality, I would send them to a school that does that, to a religious school or a private school. If I want them to be educated and not have to pay for it, I'd send them to a public school where I wouldn't expect the government to tell my children how to be members of society. That's what the family is for. So, that would be one way to approach this type of question. And you're trying too hard with the words. Okay, you've got a lot of tools when it comes to vocabulary, but just because you know the words doesn't mean you have to use them. Okay, there's lots of combinations that are just very much unclear of what it means, what you're meaning. If you use something that people might not understand, make sure that you clarify it before you use that to go on to the next point. I can see the foundations of an excellent essay in here. It's just very, very rough and not well structured in terms of, you've got these humongous sentences, you have referencing it's not clear, and then you're putting in unclear vocabulary, and that's the thing. What is writing? It's words, right? And when the words are used incorrectly, the whole thing will suffer. So, all right,